The suspect in the ambush-style murders of two firefighters in northern Idaho has been identified as 20-year-old Wes Rowley, a man we've learned who recently moved to Idaho from Phoenix. But one thing we haven't learned is why he opened fire on first responders.
And joining us as we look for some answers is ABC News correspondent Jim Ryan. And Jim, it's the why that has investigators scratching their heads, because there are accounts that Rowley wanted to be a firefighter at some point, right?
Right. I mean, he was only 20 years old, but apparently at some point had said that he wanted to work for a fire department. Might actually have made application with one of the two fire departments involved in this incident on Sunday at Kootenai County and with the Coeur d'Alene Fire Department there in the Idaho Panhandle. There was some interaction as well, Jim, before the shooting started. The firefighters, as we know, were apparently drawn up to Canfield Mountain by a fire that was burning there. We now know that Wes Rowley is apparently the one who set it. They got to the scene, asked Rowley to move his pickup truck. There was some interaction or conversation there, and then the shots started. We know that two firefighters were killed. Battalion Chief Frank Harwood of Kootenai County, the Battalion Chief John Morrison of Coeur d'Alene, they both died. A third firefighter was wounded, has been through 2 surgeries. Later then, of course, Wes Rowley's body was found. There was a shotgun near him. Investigators believe that he took his own life as the police were moving in, Jim.
Wow. So, we've heard a couple of things. We've heard from some friends who have said that, he seemed to be kind of devolving over the past couple of months and maybe was living in his car. Do we know what life circumstance changed for him?
Well, other than his move to Idaho, no, not really. Something was going on, though. The landlord, his current or former landlord, said that over the last few months, LaDonna, he had been slipping somewhat, that he was acting strangely, that he might actually have been living in that pickup truck that was found there on Canfield Mountain Sunday. Something was happening with him. One of his few social media posts that we've seen was on Instagram. It says, "I'm going hunting." And hours later, this ambush happened. There's a picture that accompanied that. He's wearing sort of camouflage and with a picture of Bjork, the Nordic singer, on his around his neck.
Very strange. And what's really strange is that if what I've been reading is correct, he graduated high school on the same campus where my girls went to school for a couple of years. It's a large charter school in North Phoenix. There's an elementary school, a middle school, and a high school all on that same campus. I'm not familiar with his family, and the people I've talked to aren't familiar with his family either. But man, it's just, you just don't know about people, it seems, Jim.
Well, right, and I suppose that's the point now in investigating the case. They could just leave it alone. There's nobody to prosecute, nobody to arrest, nobody to try to convict in this crime because the suspect is dead. But to learn about his motivation and about his situation, where his mental status was, how he got a hold of the guns, I mean, all of that is important in trying to prevent something like this in the future.
Well, and as we understand it, his parents are cooperating with investigators, correct?
Yes, they've also issued a statement expressing sympathy for the families of those firefighters. His grandfather said that he was completely caught off guard by this whole situation. Initially, he didn't believe that it was his grandson who was responsible. So, they are cooperating. They've issued statements of condolence to those families up in Idaho.
All right. Thanks so much. Once again, ABC News correspondent Jim Ryan, as we try to figure out what in the heck motivated this 20-year-old Wes Rowley, who apparently graduated high school here in the Valley and then moved to Idaho, to open fire on firefighters. Yeah, killing two of them after starting a fire. Just insane stuff.
Thanks for watching Arizona's Morning News. Click to watch more from KTAR News and hit the button in the middle to subscribe.